All right, guys, we're down for Kitchen Downsize Part 2. We're getting the cabinets done today. Okay, let's go ahead.
Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to Kitchen Downsize Part 3. We have 4 cabinets left on the island that we're gonna get finished out today, and we're pretty excited to get that finished out because it's been causing a mess where all of our pots and pans are after the Kitchen Downsize Part 2. Because everything got kind of shoved over and now it's kind of all stacked on top of each other in a very unneat way. The other thing is, you'll notice a little bit of dishes in the sink. Ignore those. We just got done putting dinner together and it's in the crock pot. We're waiting on that for food for tonight. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So that way, when dinner curls around, we'll be ready to eat.
Heck yeah. Alright, so as you can see, we got a lot of stuff here. Some of it we use frequently. Our pots, our pans, the toaster, cutting boards, mixing bowls, a strainer. Then there's stuff that we hardly ever use, aka never use. So, soda stream, this is gonna be going. We're not gonna keep this.
Which is really funny because when he first moved in, he was dead set on keeping that thing and we have never pulled it out.
Someone lost my bottle.
Wasn't me.
I don't know, it might have been me. But the bottle's gone, and therefore the rest of it's kind of useless. And I could buy another replacement bottle, but I've lived with you for how long without needing it, so the essence of downsizing and RV life is if you don't need it, don't keep it. Some of you have seen this really old yellowish thing. That is actually it's a KitchenAid mixer and food processor and grinder that we used to use all the time back at Grandma's house. And she upgraded to a modern KitchenAid and it kind of got passed down and I ended up with it. So I'm not necessarily gonna throw it away, but it's too big to keep around.
It has got a lot of parts and a lot of things everywhere.
It can do a lot of things, but it takes up a lot of space. And we haven't hardly used it, maybe one time. I don't think even one time.
I don't think we've used it at all.
If we have it, only one time. It's unfortunately gotta go somewhere, it's gonna find a new home. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'm gonna try and offer someone else in the family, see if someone else can take on with it. But that's a good core memory for me. But again, if we don't use it, don't need it, it's not time to keep it.
Yep. A couple other things that I can see already that are going. My mom had given me this. We keep passing this back and forth like, oh, I don't use this, or oh, I might use this, or oh, I don't. It's like some kind of, I don't know, quick omelets, or we've made little mini pizzas in it and stuff, but nobody actually uses it. We keep passing it back and forth, not using it. So I'm just gonna pass it back off to my mom and make her final decision, because my final decision is it's not something that is RV friendly in my mindset, especially if we end up going off grid a little bit. So it takes up energy, blah, blah, blah. So we never use it really.
That's a fair point. Kind of like the mixer thing. Like, if we can do more like hand crank stuff and avoid electricity, I think it'll be better for us in the long run. So we're gonna try and pivot stuff that direction.
Yep. So this is definitely gonna go back to my mom. And then all of my serving stuff is gonna go because at this point we're after the holidays. We're literally, when we're recording this, we've got to get through New Year's and that's it. And we do our own thing on New Year's. So the serving stuff is gonna go. I don't see me entertaining in an RV. I find that to be a little bit of a small area to do that. So
constrictive.
That stuff's all gonna go. We might keep a couple things, small things like the salsa bowls maybe, if we have salsa in the RV or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe little like hand snacks, so make us use out of that.
Yeah, but
the
honestly,
pizza stone, I want to keep the pizza stone because it is so flat. I imagine we can find a spot for it.
And another thing I've heard about RVs is you kind of want to cook on a pizza stove for even distribution of heat. I have heard of that too.
So I think we'll keep that.
These little bowls here are probably what I'll use instead of the salsa bowls. Honestly, we end up usually putting a lot of snacks, a small bit of ice cream or something. No, because we actually have salsa bowls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Have you forgotten about the salsa bowls?
We don't use them that often.
No, we don't. We usually use these
That's
ones.
a good reason why they're a good candidate to move on.
So we're gonna bring these with us. I have spoon holders. I have yet to decide if I'm gonna keep them or not. It's been really a back and forth thing. I like switching them out the colors for the seasons.
We have 3 more up back here.
Yeah, we have 3 more back there. I did have the green, red, and white one up, but I literally just took it down just last time I cleaned dishes because obviously Christmas is over. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with those. I did see a compact version of a spoon holder that also holds your lid, so that might be the direction I go with those.
That's cool.
But I haven't made that final decision because I am a little partial to them because I do think they're cool. But this is our first round of going through things, so this is the round of what can we just easily part with. So I'll come back to those at a later date. That being said,
time to start separating stuff we're gonna keep and get rid of.
We're gonna separate things, and when we come back, it'll be just me putting stuff back in a neat, orderly fashion. So
see y'all in a little bit. And I guess with most of my stuff put out the way, I think you have an idea of how you want to put this in here, or you want to play with it. So
I want to play with it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and get out the way because
good.
I think it's a good idea for both of us.
Go.
All right. See you.
All right,
Best of luck.
All right. All right. So I'm taking over. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff neatly put away. I have an idea of what I want to do. I think lids, I'm gonna try to manage to put in a drawer because I think that would be very neat on top of wherever the pots and pans are gonna sit. I think I'm gonna put all the pre-prep, like for when you're cutting your food, mixing your food, strainer, that stuff all together. Probably stack it neat and nice because I kind of liked it when it was together. I think I'm gonna put the toaster on top of the pizza stone. We don't use the pizza stone too often unless we're making pizza. Which we don't usually do too much. We try to watch our figures a little bit. The toaster is usually a little bit on the dirty side because it likes to drop crumbs every so often. Obviously, we do clean it out occasionally, but I can't help that it puts crumbs everywhere, and hence why I had to sweep at one point during this video. So I think that's a good place for it. The stone will easily clean off anyway, and it's one of those things that just get oiled. The spoon holders I'll put somewhere. Again, not so sure if I'm keeping them or not keeping them. They're kind of up in the air at this point. And the bowls I'm actually gonna completely move from the island. Long term, I would like them to be with the rest of the bowls and the stuff we put our food on, plates and stuff. So they're not even gonna go back under here. In fact, they're gonna go up in the cabinet where all of our bowls and stuff are. So with that being said, let's get this stuff put away all nice and neat. So now that everything's put away, it looks way better. It's more neat, it's more organized. One thing that we did fail to mention and show, besides when I showed off our dinner, is our crock pot actually sits under there. I did leave a space for the crock pot. We have yet to decide if we are going to use larger pieces of cooking equipment like that in the RV. If we're stationed in a place where we have shore power, it won't be an issue. But like I said before, if we end up boondocking and doing some solar stuff and whatnot, it's something we need to take in consideration is our power consumption. Worst case scenario, I will take my crock pot recipes and transition them into stovetop recipes. I'm really proud of how this turned out because we actually have a whole cabinet that has nothing in it. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to take all this stuff, put it on that side of the kitchen like I want to, but that's gonna be for a future episode, probably a couple of episodes into Kitchen Downsize. The other thing that I'm a little displeased with in this section, and I may adjust later on, is the way the lids fit into the drawer. I still have to kind of jumble around to get the actual lid that I need. I may go over into the one drawer that is not being used at the moment. We do have some things in there, mostly for when we sell the house off. It's all the paperwork for the house. I may empty out that drawer and actually make it more lid space. That way they're not all over each other. So with another kitchen downsize out of the way, we are done with the island and we can start moving over to the other side of the kitchen, which I'm very excited for. But if you want to stay tuned and see more of this process, go ahead, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you get notified whenever we post new videos. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it. Aside from that, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your 2 weeks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming.